Oops.
Welcome.
Sorry, I had to.
Oh, man. Was that you, Lon?
It was.
Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 179. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at LiftRunLong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I'm one of your hosts. I'd like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app. We want you to be on it. For $3.99 per month, you can be part of that app. And what you will get with that is access to the greatest endurance trainer in the world, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit, and she will deliver to your calendar 3 bodyweight exercises every week, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 daily WODs. For $9.99 per month, you can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. Everything from 5K programs to 100-mile programs to Spartan races to triathlons. Go to liftheavyrunlong.com, click on the Sign Up Now button. Take a look at the programs. If you see any of them that you like, add your email address and we'll add you to the app free of charge. If after 1 week, you would like to sign up for the app, then please do so. If not, then do nothing and the program will just go away. The goal of Lift Heavy Run Long is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. So if you or someone you know does not have $3.99 a month, but you think that fitness would enhance the quality of your life or their life, simply email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. We'd be more than happy to add you to the app free of charge.
Free
For nothing.
For free?
I have sitting next to my right, my lovely bride, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, Jack Dantan.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Tired.
You're tired.
I'm tired.
Yep.
But I'm doing good.
Okay. What's
Feeling
new?
good. Not much, just school, work, and
Crushed 50K.
home. Crushed 50K this weekend.
Yep. We'll talk about that. We got to get you some rest. Your response is tired probably 90% of the time.
Is it?
Yep.
He's been making a spreadsheet of all the
I've
episodes.
got the data.
And every time he asks you, he puts it in there. And so over the last, oh my gosh, how many years has it been?
A lot.
Lots of years.
Yeah.
He has a chart now, a bar graph.
How long have we been doing this? 3 years probably?
3 years.
Assuming every week it's 3+ years, 179 episodes.
Do you
Yeah.
count the times we were on the golf course and in the shop?
Those weren't episodes. The shop was.
Well, but those count because they make up for the weeks that we skipped.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That
it's-
person
it
you
still-
hear
it still
talking
works
is
out.
Big Thirsty Brian Swanson. He is on a 2-episode streak on the couch.
Yes, I
We're
am.
glad to have you here.
I
We're
appreciate
thinking we can make it 3, you think? Plans for next week?
Chances are good.
All right. And next to him, we have the Reverend Von Rawls.
Hello.
I spent the weekend with all of these lovely people. I'm so fortunate.
What a weekend it was.
What's new with you, Reverend?
What's new? What is new? I ran a 50-kilometer race that we were going to talk about.
That's a lot of kilometers.
Eventually. It is.
How far is that?
Well, it was 30 miles this weekend.
I don't think it was 30 miles last year.
It was not. Definitely not.
So
It was
what is
definitely-
that?
I don't know. But I was so surprised because I thought I was going to be finished at 28.9 or whatever it was last year. And when I got about a mile out from the creek, coming back about 2 miles from the finish or whatever it was, I was like, oh my gosh, my watch is going to flip over to 30. Yes. Like I'm going to, I just,
Not a 50K.
not a 50K, but at least it was going to be 30, you know, because I remember thinking last year, I was thinking, it's not even gonna. It's a 50K, but I'm not even gonna be able to say I ran 30 miles. But this weekend I ran.
What did your
30.
watch register?
30.24 or something
So
like that.
Teresa's watch showed 30.93, and I was like, man, if I was that close to 31, I'd have kept running.
I don't think you would have.
I probably wouldn't have.
Mine
I
registered
saw you
like
at 15.
Mine
I don't
was
think that you would've kept
29.8.
running.
The 25K was more than 15.
Was more than
It was
what?
more than 25K.
Yeah,
25K
it's long,
race
right?
is long.
But Vaughn last year, 2 years ago, Vaughn passed me and he goes, the halfway point is 13.4. And I was like, what? And sure enough, I swear I remember
I think maybe
my
I said
watch.
14.4.
Was it 14.4?
Yeah.
And so then last year it did the same thing. And this year,
They fixed the GPS satellites.
is that what happened?
There was
Just
one that was
technology gets
malfunctioning.
better? Or they moved the finish line further back. I think when you
Was
do
it
that,
still under the
when you
the
start, it's at
concrete?
one place, and then that amphitheater like spreads out, and the trail gets longer as you run.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
I think they added hills on the way back for me this time.
Amanda, you did outstanding.
Thank you.
Faster than last year.
Yes. Yep.
Made up time, actually.
I did.
Um,
Well, I was running with somebody on the way out, and we were kind of taking it easy. And then we got to the halfway point. We needed to
kick
crank
it
it
up a
in.
notch.
Yeah, crank it up.
Which is not an easy thing to do,
On the second half, of course, now.
I've never done that.
particularly at the race
I
that
like
we're
to
talking
start
about.
slow and taper off.
and take it down from there. Yep. I felt as good as I have ever felt in a race ever.
You looked good
in
out
my
there.
whole life.
I might say that as well. I agree.
You looked like a
too.
unicorn prancing through the woods.
Did I? I felt like a
When
unicorn
is the
prancing.
last
I
time-
definitely felt like I was prancing.
You looked very light, like you were really just doop 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 going on.
I was enjoying it.
Vaughn, when's the last time you ran Sylamore
A year ago.
without a time goal that you were pushing yourself on?
I have not.
Exactly. I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
I think that's why you enjoyed yourself so much more this year.
Well, yeah, and I also went into it with I was so scared that I was going to have black pea once I got past 20 miles or something. And
Were you pee testing yourself?
I
Did you
was.
stop?
Yep.
Did you
yep,
really?
I did. I stopped.
Oh, wow.
I never stop and pee. I usually just ignore it and I'll sweat it out or whatever happens. It usually the urge just goes away. And I don't know. There's a joke there, but so I stopped about 13 miles in and went and used the bathroom, and it was like clear as a bell.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, and I just got so excited. I was like overly excited, but I was like, hell yeah, here we go.
I could see it. He would pee in his hands, and then he would throw it up. He'd throw it up in the air so he could see it through the sunlight.
This lady ran by, and I just splashed her in the face a little bit.
Look at how clear my urine is.
And she was not really impressed by it, but I assured her it was good. So anyway, I did it again at about 23, 24. Same lady. It was really bad, but it was like not as clear, but still clear. And I was like, oh yes, I was just so stoked about it. And I was like, man, I feel good.
Man,
Did
I
you-
could sense your trip. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you hydrate more? Did you feel yourself like hydrating more to ensure that you were?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, maybe I did unconsciously or whatever. Just was drinking. I only filled up my bag twice or once.
But you
Like,
intentionally laid off the pace. You weren't trying to push
I
yourself.
intentionally
You were
laid off
just-
the
You were just
pace,
trying to
yeah.
get through the miles and not worry about the time.
Yeah,
Right.
because
I
I was
wasn't worried.
following you and keeping up like okay at the beginning, and then I paired
Yeah,
off with Dawn.
Yeah,
My
for the rest
plan-
of us, it's usually a bad it's a bad situation if we've kept up with Vaughn for
Yeah.
any length of time.
Yeah.
Well, my plan was to just be comfortable and talk to myself conversationally or whoever was around me and just stay taking it easy. And if I could just do that, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what my time was or whatnot. So I just stuck with that all day. And I was by myself most all day long. Like we started the race. Amanda and Wilson were behind me for a little while. We were right there. And then I was with Michael, a guy named Michael Hirons.
Yeah.
Him and another guy, Jack, I think is his name.
Yep. Yeah, sure.
And I ran with them for a while, just stayed behind them. And I was talking to them, and they would be talking about something. And I would just interject myself. I would just be like, "Yeah, I did a 100-mile too. I did that as well." Like
Jack's a great guy to run
But then
with.
finally, Michael said, "Is that Vaughn back there?" I thought eventually he recognized who was talking, and so I stayed with them for a while. And then finally, I left an aid station before they did, and then I never saw anybody the rest of the day unless it was someone coming.
Unless it was people not getting out of your way as you returned.
Yes, unless it was some lady going, "Excuse me," like I was in her.
Oh, did you catch some crap?
Look, I do it. It happens every time.
Quit being
think
rude.
It's just me. Like, and I will practically fall down the mountain. A guy makes the turnaround way before me, and he's trucking towards me. I am like doing everything in my power to get off the trail, and I'm like hugging trees, and I'm going, "Good job, man, good job." And then they'll go by, and then I'll go on my way. But when I make the turnaround, it's almost like I'm a huge asshole. And
Yeah.
like, and literally some lady goes, she would not move out of the way. And it was like we were playing chicken, and finally she just goes, "Excuse me," like I did, like I'm in her, like you're a jerk, and I'm not a jerk. You're supposed to get out of my way.
That is trail courtesy that the faster runner has priority.
I agree.
I don't think a lot of people.
Well, here we
realize
are
it or follow.
shining the information to everyone.
Yep, that's what we're here to do.
If someone makes a turnaround and is coming towards you and they're ahead of you in the race, get out of their way.
Yep.
Is there someone on there saying I'm a jerk?
It's that lady.
This live Facebook stuff is just ruining this podcast.
Have you ever seen Spy Hunter? You remember the video
played
game
the
Spy
video
Hunter?
game Spy
Not seen
Hunter.
Spy Hunter.
How's the theme song go? Yeah. I love it. Yes. Of course I played this song.
Holy cow! I'm like playing the game right now. As you're singing that
in
song.
your
Well, Vaughn threw out the ice screen. We were running, and I was looking at these icicles, and I thought it's almost impossible not to do what Vaughn's about to do, but he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. And he goes, drink, and he takes down the whole section of ice. So then I have to go over. I'm like, skinny.
Jeez, you guys, let's set the scene here. We're in the mountains, and it is freezing cold. It's like 25 degrees. These icicles that are like 3 feet long,
Right.
and like 3 inches round, and just hanging.
They're
from
awesome. Yeah.
On the edge of a cliff that's
How
like
can you-
120 feet down.
How do you not knock them off? Like I just couldn't. It was no way I could not.
The
do it.
5-year-old in him could not be
I know,
controlled.
I know. And the only reason I knew he was going to do it is because I thought, oh man, that would be so much fun to knock all those icicles down.
As soon as I did it, I went, should I have done that? And then I was like, hell yeah, you should have done that. Who cares?
Were you having to dodge the icicles because you were behind him?
They
though?
all were all on the ground. Like it was like
Rude.
putting out a bunch of
Rude.
little frozen logs on the ground. to step on.
But on the way back, though, let's say a mile 24, I'm going, these things are starting to melt. And there's some that are way up there that are really high.
Yeah.
What if one just broke off and just went
really
right
hurt
through
you.
my shoulder or
Talk
something?
to so Drew Womack had one of those big 3-inch round ones land 10 feet from him. Where you go through those little
Like
alcove,
amphitheater
like the
type,
amphitheater areas, like right before you get back to the river. They were all falling as we were coming back through, and he said one hit the ground like 10 feet from him. Teresa said she found one, not a big one, but a tinier icicle in her camelback, like it had fallen and hit her in a camelback.
Yeah. Well, so it was
So-
fun on the way out, knocking them down and making games. But on the way back, I got kind of scared that one of those big giant
Karma.
icicles might
Like one was going
shoot
to
me
take
in the
it.
head.
Like, you knocked my kids
And then
down.
nobody would ever know why I died. Like, I would just have a bleeding head and the ice would
There's just
melt.
there's just a giant hole in his head. What's that? What monster now?
That would be like,
like
a
the-
murder mystery.
It's like the Christmas Vacation where why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't know, Todd. Or I don't know, Margot.
You could kill somebody out there. It wouldn't have to be with a icicle, but you could kill somebody on the side of that
You
mountain.
could just
and
shove
get
them off
away
the
with it.
side. Keep
So-
I
running.
think about it all the time.
Oh,
Who?
Just whoever. I'm not going to tell you.
God, I'm not running with you
Just
anymore.
a few different people.
You think about pushing a particular person off the
Hey,
side of
that's
the
the
mountain?
last
Just
time
various
that I-
people. It's a
last
number
time
of
I
people.
faced with,
I started to push that lady that said, "Excuse me."
You could do that.
thrown her off
The
the mountain.
problem is if they grabbed you on the way down, then you die too.
Well, I was in better shape than her, so I could have just
You think you could have held it back? Held her off?
I could have just wrestled her off and shook her, just let her go.
But then on the way down, she would have been like, "Fun."
I want your pod.
one less viewer.
I'm like, oh man, now we're only
now
at
we're back.
299.
Now we're back under 10.
Oh man. Well, I enjoyed it this year as much as I have any year, but probably because I only did the 25K.
I love it.
I only did half of the
I got to say,
50K.
That race wrecked me worse than any 50K or 50 miler I've ever done, but I'm just so far out of shape right now that I'm not surprised. But even having said that, I was mentally just in a great place. I wasn't mad at myself. I wasn't wanting to quit. I wasn't anything. There was never a doubt that I was going to keep pushing forward, but it was a challenge.
Well, big kudos to your lady, Katie.
Yes.
She was
She's
so
awesome.
cool to have taken me over to Amanda. She's like a data monster. Like she knew where everybody was on that course at all times.
Well, and she got mad at me this year because I dropped from the 50K to the 25K, so it messed up her plan. Because last year, she saw everybody except for Vaughn at every single aid station twice.
Yeah.
But Vaughn was always just ahead of
That's
her
just so
getting
fast. So fast.
she couldn't drive to the next aid
She
station.
couldn't drive there fast
before we
enough.
got there.
And so last year she had written the time of day that everybody came through each of the aid stations, and that's why she knew, when she took you to see Amanda at Blanchard Springs, watch her come back through, she knew that she was doing better than she had last year, and that her time from Barkshed to Blanchard Springs was better, so she had made up time,
None of that would make it easier on me. I still wouldn't be able to keep up with all that.
Yeah.
As soon as I got back, she's like, "I can take you over to whatever Springs, and she'll be there in 24 minutes." I'm like, what? How do you know that? She's like, "Well, I have all y'all's times, and assuming that." And then we got there, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I think it's going to be more 30 minutes." Whatever.
So I
Anywhere within the
know,
next 6 hours, be good.
I know that you went to the turnaround. Is that where you got into a car and took off? Mm-hmm. Did you go with Alan Couch? Did he take you?
I was waiting for Alan to get there, but then one of the park rangers was giving people rides back.
Okay.
Alan was behind him by probably 15 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
I met
Yeah.
Alan when I came running back out.
I saw
They
him.
had plenty of people to-
He is so funny because I saw him coming towards me after I had made the turnaround, and I said, "Hey man, you're almost to the turnaround. Keep it up or something." And he goes, "Oh no, this is over. Oh, this is over. This has already been planned. We're getting in the car. We're getting out of here."
Yep.
He's like, "It's already been planned." I was like, "Oh man, okay." But my wife thought that was ridiculous. That I was. She said, "Why are you going to go?" Because I had told her. Well, I said, "Well, Wilson's just going to quit at the half. He's just going to. There's a lot of people that are going to just stop after going halfway." And I said, "Well, She was like, why would you go if you're just going to stop?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, because it's fun. You get to see the...
Still get to enjoy the course, get to enjoy the race.
Number one, if you do the 25K and you turn around at the turnaround for the 25K, you miss all of the good stuff
Right.
Yeah.
of the race, including the food, which was fantastic this year. Mm-hmm. And the scenery. There's all kinds of things you don't get to see if you just do the 25K. So it's almost better to just go.
Point to point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to climb that big mountain right on the other side of Blanchard Springs twice.
You know what? That never even occurred to me.
Like
It never
as
even
I
crossed
was,
my mind.
as I was climbing back over it, I was like, Wilson's a fucking genius. Wilson is a fucking genius that he just kept going.
Not to mention my half is shorter than your half. Like
Well,
I get
I
to
don't
run
care
half
about
the
Oh, well,
50K.
that is true, too.
and
I
it's
did,
shorter.
I did see that. Anyway, I thought I had a point, which was
Sorry.
when number one, I don't think she wanted me to go run the race to begin with. Like, I think she's done with this whole ultra marathon.
Well, I was going to say, but if you are going to go run, she wants you to run to death. Like, don't stop. If you're going to go run, keep going. Don't
That's a
stop.
good
Never
point.
come back.
But so when my point was when I called her or when I texted her, when I called her and said I'm done, she goes, "Did you run the whole thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did the whole." She's like, "You did the whole thing? That's awesome!" Like, I don't think she thought like I think it was a comfort to her that I actually finished the whole thing.
Yeah.
K-Max
Yeah.
says any team enemy or LHRLs that want to only do the 25K should register for the 50K and just run half. And
Yeah.
she'll shuttle people back and forth.
Yeah, you know, everybody was acting like that. Like, what are you going to do when you get there? Like, what do you? How are you
need
going to
I
get
don't
back?
need
Like, I was
another
going to go
pint
out there
glass.
and just die. You know, and I was like, somebody's going to give me a ride. I mean, they're not just going to like
Right.
be like, tough shit, man. I mean, you didn't make it all the way. And, you know, Gary put his cell phone number in my, packed it like he was my mom, sending me off with a, you know, lunch note. Like, have a good day.
Wrote his phone
Here's my
number on your
number.
underwear.
If you need me. He wrote it on a paper towel, and he said, he was like, now you have it stuffed in your backpack. If you ever need it, then you'll know I'm there.
Well, let's talk about the creek crossing because this is a big thing with this particular race. We have to cross a creek at a mile and a half into the race, and again when there's a mile and a half left in the race, or a mile or whatever it is, and it's cold, very cold.
And so it was 3.5 feet deep, 4 feet deep.
It's pretty deep.
4 feet deep this year. I think that's a little bit higher than it was last year.
It was almost to my belly button.
The current was faster.
Yes,
this
it was.
year.
I had to hold on to the rope.
Well, it was damn cold, and we stood there. I know Amanda did. We stood there and an unreasonable amount of time.
It was painful.
I waited to get into the water for 15 minutes.
We probably
Because of the line.
stood in
cross.
that creek for a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah. It was painful.
That was me coming back.
Like, and I was going,
I was moving so
can we get out of here? And the people in front of us, I guess, were trying to find the most perfect way out of the thing. And you have to wait because if they step on the wrong thing, then they hold on. And you really just have to go. You just got to go. Otherwise, you get log jammed. And we literally sat there. And I'm going,
yeah. Hurts.
it's freezing. We're literally freezing our balls off. Not Amanda, but
Well, there's a picture. There's a picture taken right after Amanda told you the water just touched my wiener,
Yeah.
and y'all are both dying
Do
laughing.
you remember when you and Justin Lamantz was talking?
Yeah, he was.
And I was like, Bud, it just hit my wiener. And there's a picture where I'm like dying laughing.
Okay, so before the race, Justin Lamantz said there's a big difference.
find
There's a
it.
big difference between getting your wiener wet and not getting your wiener wet. and then I made on a joke about it. It's like sometimes you want to, sometimes you don't. You know? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I said to because I was in line to cross the creek with Womack and Chris Miller, and I said to them, it either needs to be well below wiener level or it needs to be full submersion because the lapping, is just going to make it bad.
Well, Drew Womack was saying you and Chris Miller probably didn't even have that problem because y'all are so tall.
Oh, I got full on wet. Anyways, it was quite the experience.
This is just the podcast.
The wet wiener episode.
I don't even know
Number
why
179.
people don't listen to this podcast.
It was probably as big of a deal as people make of it every year, and it's not a deal. It was probably as intense as
It's
I've
as
seen
big
it.
a deal as it could be.
There
because-
were a couple people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
There was a couple of people in the 25K that tried to like cut straight across and not use the rope, and they got carried like
That's
20
what I
yards
heard.
downstream.
Really?
Because the stream was so strong.
Well,
So
that's
this,
what I was-
this was by far. This was the first time. I mean, it's only the second time I've seen them have a rope out there, but the first time I didn't really feel like I needed the rope. Actually, I don't think I used the rope the first time. I think I just
neither.
went across and never even touched the rope.
I
but
did
this time.
I'm afraid. My fear was I took my phone with me this time for some reason, and I was afraid I was going to slip. My feet were going to slip out from underneath me, and I would fall in the water and submerge my backpack and ruin my phone. And so I was holding on to the rope so that I wouldn't fall.
I also learned this weekend that my Camelback has a waterproof pouch. There's one of the zippers that's waterproof.
Wow.
That's cool.
It's like as fancy as the headphones.
So when I got back in the water after running and to cross back over, I was like, I'm just going to screw the rope. I got in like right as you get down off the steps, and I took like one step, and that current grabbed me. And I was like, never mind. I was like, went straight back up to the rope and grabbed it and went across. Because I've number one, my legs were tired, but two, I mean, that current was strong. I didn't think I could make it across.
Vaughn, did you use like a vise to tighten your backpack?
All right, let me tell you about that. So, when I ordered a new bladder, we talked about this for my pack, and I got it off of Amazon. It was only like a $12 deal. It wasn't like a $130 pair of headphones. It was
Can't
just-
afford it like thirsty kids.
right. And so
They'll probably buy you one.
the first time I filled it up and screwed the top on, it leaked out. Right, the water was.
Is that why you were having me fill your bag to see if it was wet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was super paranoid. To remedy that, I screwed it on there real tight and then tested it and worked. And so when I filled it up the night before, I made sure I cranked it on there pretty good, just with my hand. But I guess it was a little too tight.
You're just too strong.
So strong. And so I saw Wilson at the aid station, and he was done for the day. And he was there with Katie. And he said, do you need anything? I said, you know what? If you want to put some water in my backpack, just go ahead and do that. And so he's over there cranking down on it, trying to get it open. He can't get it open. And then I said the most douchebag thing anyone could ever say. I was like, you want me to try? It was like the first thing that came. I don't even know why I thought I would be any strong. I'm running in the like 24 miles at this point.
And I just give him back his backpack. I'm like, glad I could help. Go get him.
And so I grab it and I'm going, I could not get it off.
Did you cross thread it? Is that why it was leaking?
I don't know. So finally I just said, screw it, and put it back on and left. I didn't need to fill it up. So when I got home Saturday night or Sunday morning, I got it out of the car. I had to go get a pair of pliers and put it on there and crank that thing open. Because I could not get it open.
Was it cross-threaded at that point?
I don't know. It came open.
But I wonder if that's why it's leaking. I wonder if it cross-threaded, that's why it's leaking, and then the tightening probably didn't help things out.
Oh, maybe so.
I bet that's
what
what it
brand
is.
of canvas bag? Like what's the bag itself?
I don't know.
Not the bladder, but
Whatever Costco sold
okay.
20 years ago.
okay.
Or 10 years
Because
ago.
Camelbacks have a lifetime guarantee on them. So
Oh, yeah. It's not a Camelback.
interesting.
So I was sad because, I'm doing the whole gluten-free thing, and they had the awesome grilled cheese sandwiches at the aid station that I couldn't have. And then when I got to the turnaround point, the guy was like, "Oh, you want something warm? I got some broth." I was like, "Oh God, that sounds fantastic." And he goes, "You want noodles in it?" And I was like, "I can't have it." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "I can't do gluten." He's like, "Oh, nope, you can't have that." And he goes, "You can't have that and that and that."
Well, you can't have anything.
But I carried my own nutrition with me, which probably helped out in the
better
long
anyways,
run.
yeah.
But
You just miss out on the hot stuff.
yeah, I missed out on the hot stuff. It was cold.
I'm telling you, the food was better than it's ever been.
It looked good.
In the last 10 years, I swear to God. And when I came out of that 20-mile aid station back into the woods, I literally had 2 grilled cheeses and a pickle in my left hand. In my right hand, I had like 3 potatoes. And I had in my pocket 2 Nutter Butter cookies and in my left pocket I had 3 Fig Newtons, and I was running like that back into the woods, like just chomping on this pickle. And I was eating this pickle, and,
Like Edward grilled cheese hands. Just
I asked the guy. I said,
one in each knuckle.
I said, "Do you have any pickle juice?" And he said, "No, but we got pickles somewhere." And he went and grabbed this thing, and he gave me the whole pickle. So it was like one of those pickles you buy at the gas station.
I saw that.
Like, it wasn't like he didn't get a chance to cut them up. I didn't have time. I just grabbed the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I got the pickle and sandwiches in one hand, and the potatoes in the other, and I'm just like alternating hands, just chomping on stuff. It was great.
Talking about aid stations, do you think the people running faster or slower need the aid stations more? If you had to pick one or the other.
Me.
That's a
Say
good
that
question.
again?
Do the faster runners need the aid station more or the slower runners?
The slower runners.
I
The
guess
faster,
slower,
the faster
'cause-
people don't even stop. They're you got to think like I'm running an 8-hour race, and there's guys that are running 5-hour, 4-hour
Right,
races.
right.
So they're not. It's a completely different nutrition game for them. They
So
just need
this
to
is an
fill up their
ongoing
water.
conversation with Katie and I, where now she's been there twice, and twice now she sees them start breaking down the aid station. Like, oh, there's only 5 people out on the course, so we're just going to go ahead and put everything away. It's like if you got 5 people out on the course, then you need to keep this aid station
Yeah.
open until those 5 people come through. Like, but they're like packing up and getting ready to leave, and I get that they want to go
They
home.
are.
And they've been out there for a long time.
But they've always got something out there.
Well, the bad.
And I say that because I'm always one of those 5 people that are out there.
They leave something out.
They'll
for
have
you?
something out. Yeah,
They do.
I've never been
The-
to an aid station where they've just said we already packed it up. We don't have anything for you.
The problem is the
They'll have
quality
something out
of the
there.
quality is just not as good anymore.
Right, okay.
Because what happens is on that last aid station, which happens to be the first aid station, had ramen noodles, hot ramen noodles, and they're so good. Like I love having chicken noodle soup at a run like that. So I gulped down a couple of cups on the way out, which was about 6 miles, 5 miles, whatever.
5.5 miles is the first aid station.
But when I got back and I was over there and I really wanted it, I walked over there and grabbed 2 cups and just like slammed them, and they were cold
Yeah.
as ice. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, nobody wants to eat cold noodles. Like, oh, I just got to get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
So it's not the quality that it was when you got there
Fair enough.
6 hours ago.
You got to be careful making assumptions at those aid stations. I once filled my handheld bottle up with pickle juice. I thought it was Gatorade.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
How did your non-frozen pickle pops go?
Pretty good.
Yeah, they worked well for you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I drank them and whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't drink almost no water. I don't know why I didn't drink almost any water.
I'm so terrible at
And
drinking water.
I cramped. I was cramping in between my quads, my groin, and was like, man, right at the end, I was feeling so good. And that was I was at the tipping point as to whether I wanted to continue or not. And I thought, if I finish if I'm at the halfway point at 4 hours or maybe 4:10, then maybe I'll keep going. But I started cramping like 1 mile before, and I was like, I don't think I want to. I'm feeling so good. I don't think I want to mess this up. And I don't know if it was I didn't take electrolytes. I usually take S-caps. I didn't take any of those. Didn't drink any water. But I drank a lot of pickle juice.
Well, a couple of shout outs. Number 1 to Tailwind. I had Tailwind in my backpack, which I drank the whole time. And then shout out to Amanda.
For the potatoes.
Who gave me the Tailwind.
Ah, yeah.
Remember, she brought
Nice.
the Tailwind a few weeks ago, and I had I forget what it's called, some sort of berry caffeinated, which is real good. I just love that stuff so much, and so I just drank that the whole time, and I drank water when I would get to the aid station.
If you could have one liquid and one solid food to eat, and you had to eat that for the rest of your runs, always and forever, what would it be? Starting with Amanda.
So if I had to carry it like the liquid at an aid station, or carry it in my bag, or just everything.
Oh, you could only ingest one liquid and one.
One time.
It doesn't matter how you carry it.
Yeah.
Someone would be there to give it to you.
Well, I'm liking my pH tabs that I'm putting in my water, so that would be my liquid.
Okay.
I like that. And then I guess I can't have my grilled cheese sandwiches anymore. Or it would be that. So I guess it would be. I make Nutella banana sandwiches with gluten-free bread. So that's what I would eat.
Okay, that works. Thirsty?
I would do chicken broth and PB&J.
Interesting.
Tailwind and pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls.
That's a pretty good
Hundo.
answer.
Hondo.
That's pretty good. How did your ride home go, man? You did a 50K, got in the car,
And drove
and
home.
said peace.
I sure did.
Holy mackerel, man. That had to have been harder than the 50K itself.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
It wasn't?
No, but just because I had podcasts queued up, and so I was.
But you weren't stiff or sore or anything like that?
Yeah.
Weren't you sleepy?
I was a little sleepy, yeah, but
Did you get out and kind of stretch or walk around?
I stopped 3 times to go to the bathroom.
Okay. That's good.
Wow.
You did a pee test again to make sure you
Yeah,
weren't.
I was drinking. I was drinking a lot and going to the bathroom a lot because I was, I was really terrified that something was going to bad. Was gonna
I could tell.
It's
I could tell
it's easy
that you
for us to
were-
make fun of it because nothing bad happened, and we're all grateful for that. But I definitely get it.
I mean, I was thinking, I was really thinking, like mile 20, 24, like I would either have a heart attack or get rhabdo again. That's what I thought. That's what I was afraid of, and I was legitimately afraid of that.
How's your blood pressure today?
I got a green this morning, so
Yay.
Man, rock solid.
yeah.
Plus, you get to run in sunglasses. Man, you have all
What do you
the
mean?
luck.
I get to?
Because it's cool to be able to run in sunglasses. I can't run in sunglasses because I got like the caveman lawyer face. Like if I wear glasses, then my brow like touches the glass, and then I can't see. I need windshield wipers on my glasses. And I've always wanted to do that because people running in glasses look cool.
They'll
If you got
just
the right
fog up.
glasses, yeah. I mean, like sweat will drip down the glass.
You need to get some of those with the little windshield wipers on them.
Do they have those?
I'm sure they do.
Give me some.
Well,
Swanson, give me
they
some.
run
You got
on like a
lot of money.
9-volt battery, and then the wipers just it costs $130. You could swap the headphones for the.
I don't want Vaughn to buy them for me. I want you to buy them for me.
Yeah. I'll look into that for you.
I want thirsty grade wipers. Do you wear glass? You don't wear sunglasses when you run. do you?
Brian does.
Yeah, he does.
100%.
He's got blue ones. They're white frames.
He'll wear them in the dark if he runs. Like
Yeah, whenever we start like a morning run, because for me they're a windbreaker. I can't stand to have wind in my eyes, so I've got to have something covering my eyes.
I guess I knew that. Yeah.
And usually the ones that I buy,
They're $130.
They're a lot.
they
cheap.
They're not the
Cheaper.
cheapest.
They're cheaper.
He didn't get them at Costco.
Sorry.
Yeah, from Sharper Image.
Nobody knows what we're talking about right now. Like nobody gets a joke except for us. That's
Nothing uncommon about that.
hey, go leave us a review.
Yeah, we don't have any reviews.
You
Star.
leave us a 5-star review. We'll let you.
We'll
in on
let
the
you in
inside
on all
jokes.
these stupid
Thirsty will
inside
send you
jokes
some
we're
money.
making that nobody gets.
I'll send you $130.
He'll pay your mortgage.
Well, I am having a
the
giveaway.
next 10 people
the
that
next
leave us
person,
a review.
the next person that donates $100 to heroes.stjude.org/Von Ross gets these fancy Amazon
Buds.
earbuds that I've got.
Earbuds.
You don't even have to
You
give
can get your own pair for
$130.
$130.
But this way you're helping St. Jude. Oh, man.
I like running in a ball cap because I like shades, but I don't like getting in like shaded areas and have to like take my sunglasses off. So I run Sylamore in the same ball cap every single year, and it's my 1998 National Championship Tennessee hat that I wear.
Time to let it go.
No, I can't.
Fall fans still driving around with their national championship license plates.
Well, you'll
Time to
notice
let it
I
go.
never wear my Mississippi State National Championship hat
Why is that?
because we never won a
I
national.
was about to ask that. That was my follow-up question.
I just remember the first Sylamore that we ran. It was the snow and ice where it was like raining, snowing,
Yeah.
sleeting on us. And I remember the hat, my orange tee. I was running, and of course, against all the white, I could see an orange drop every time it would drip off the tip of my hat. I could see orange just go. the whole time I was running.
Wow. Did you see the guy that ran 50 100-milers in 2019? Or what was it?
Was that Billy the 100-mile Slayer?
Was it that guy?
No, I posted it on Facebook earlier just before I got here.
I thought Billy got to 50.
Did he do
I don't
50 of them?
I don't want
He was
to X
try-
out my.
he was trying to set a
live.
record, but didn't set a record because he got injured, and then somebody else set the record instead of him.
Oh,
But
man.
I thought he got to 50.
Jesus.
No,
He was at Tunnel Hill when we were there.
what's his
He
name?
wasn't going to do 50, though. was
That's the
he?
guy holding the flag, right?
He wasn't. He was doing 50 100-milers? I don't think he was doing that many. He was doing a lot, but I don't think he was doing 50.
I don't know what the record was.
Say
so-
his name again. The record was
Bill.
41.
Oh,
This article
yeah,
I
so
put-
he was trying to hit 42 or 43 then.
The
something
guy,
like that.
the article I posted. I don't want to exit my
Watch
Party.
watch party because it's doing so good. It's so.
Are you waving at everybody?
It
when
was
they're doing
a. It was a.
Define doing good. Like a lot of people there commenting, waving?
No. I'm just waving and doing likes. It's just me. So the record was 41, and this guy decided that he wanted to run 50 100-milers, right, in a year, I think. And so him
only
and his
2
two
weekends off.
him and his two buddies decided they were going to give it a go, and between the three of them, they ran 128 50-miler or 100-milers, and he was the only one that broke the record, and he I think ran 50 of them.
Man.
It's impressive.
That was impressive.
So you saying that the record was 41?
It said at 41, yeah.
That I think Billy did. He did 30 something. I thought he
One of
got
the
to
guys'
50,
names
but
was Billy, though. What was his last name?
I don't
The
know.
100-mile Slayer.
His
Slayer.
Facebook
You don't
know
page
what his last name
his
is?
Facebook page was called Billy the 100-mile Slayer, so I don't know what his last name was.
Slayer.
Katie said that, speaking of someone who looks cool in running glasses, is Kathy Owens, who was a rock star this weekend.
Hell yeah. Kathy Owens is always a rock star.
So is
the whole
Gary.
Owens family's
Yeah, Gary
rock
and
star
Kathy are rock
status.
stars.
Gary is like a literal rock star.
Gary
Literal.
is, man,
killing
I
it.
can't talk about that dude enough. Just his running style. He's like so boss.
He has a running photographer that follows him at races. Like I was probably 30 yards behind Kathy when they crossed paths on the 25K, and like as she's coming up, there's somebody with the camera going chick, 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 like watching them like come together. It was Donnie Chambliss, but
He's the,
Well, what's with Donnie, man? He's
he was out
there. Did he run the 25K or was he
Yeah,
just there?
he and Gary
Okay.
ran the 25K. They crushed it.
I ran past him. I was like, "Why aren't you running?"
he ran it in like 350.
Yeah, they did great.
Wow.
Oh, speaking
Gary
of,
Owens
this
is like the
Kathy's birthday.
Kenny Powers of trail ultra running.
Did you know? I'm going way off topic. Eastbound and Down, Kenny Powers.
Bless you.
Did you know that that's based on a real person?
No.
I have no doubt that it's.
There
based
is
on
a
real life.
podcast. You've got to go look it up. It
Is
is
his name Kenny Powers?
yes.
Oh wow.
That is his name, and it's funny because the whole I think it's not a Without Fail, it's heavyweight. It might be heavyweight. I'll have to go look it up. But this lady was married to him, and it's a whole story about he was a stunt man in like the 70s, like in the time of Evel Knievel, right? And him and his buddy were doing these stunts where they were trying to jump this car over a 1 mile wide river or something, and he was the only one that would do it, and he ended up crashing or whatever. But his wife, widow, is on the podcast talking about how he used to just say MFer all the time, and he would just do all the weirdest stuff. And it turned out that after he died, they started watching this Eastbound and Down show, and they were like, this is just like, not only is he acting just like Kenny Powers, his name is Kenny Powers. And so the guy that does the show, the podcast, goes and looks up the guy that did the Eastbound and Down show, and he goes, yes, of course I based it on that guy's
Oh, really?
life, and he was a real person.
Interesting.
It
That's
is
a great
super
show.
interesting. I'm stuck.
When you open a box of cereal, how do you open the plastic
I grab it in the middle of both sides.
No.
and rip it open?
No, I grab it in the middle and pull it apart.
Okay. All the way apart?
All the way.
I do too.
What's the correct way to do it, Amanda?
The
Amanda
correct
says I
way-
open a box of cereal like a 6-year-old.
Yes, the correct way is to take one.
And then I
end
reach my
of
hand
it.
in there and look for the toy.
You take like one end of it and you pull it open just enough to make a little pour spout, and you pour it out.
No, you got to open the whole
Do
thing.
you think
Who
it's
does
gonna?
that?
Do you
I
think
did-
it's gonna get not stale as quickly because you?
Well, there's
didn't
not
open up
much
the whole-
air in there, and you just kind of roll it down, and it's good. Not the whole thing's like wide open, and then when you start pouring cereal, the whole thing dumps
That's
over
what
the side
you
of the
want.
bowl.
You want the
Are
cereal
you turning
out of the
whole
box.
thing up?
No, but it's hard
think
when
you
the
need-
whole
I
thing's
think you
open.
need
You're
to
I
like,
don't
start
want to wait
exhibiting-
for cereal to pour out.
I
It'd
think
be
you
like
need to wait-
tapping the back of it.
Couple of things here.
I think Amanda needs some constraint on how quickly she's pouring by the fact that she can't open up
Just
the thing
slow
completely.
down when you're pouring cereal.
But if you have it all sealed off and you just have that one hole, you can pour like that, and gravity pulls it in faster.
We've got to teach
so
you
then I
some
do
patience.
this, and it's all wide open. It's like all on the counter
Why don't they put toys in cereal anymore?
because
I don't-
kids will choke on
Money.
it.
And kids choking, probably.
Yeah,
is
they
the better
probably
answer.
don't think it's
I've been taking
hygienic to
business
reach your
law,
hand in a
and
box of
there's
cereal like
liability,
they
and
used
they would
to.
be liable.
I was going to say. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking is.
Did you ever wait to get to the bottom of the
No,
cereal?
no, I dug my
just-
hand right in there. I dug it and just dug all
Yeah.
the way down in there and got.
We weren't allowed to do
Never
that.
once thought it was unsanitary.
Oh, we weren't allowed to. We had to wait
That's
for
why
it
you
to
think it's
surface.
your way of
That's why-
opening the cereal is the right way.
Again, that's why you're a
difference.
doctor and I'm a guy called the Reverend on a podcast that nobody listens to. The other thing I was going to say is my mother-in-law. Remember the story about my mother-in-law stealing my French fries?
Yes.
Well, she at her house when they have cereal, they fold it down on the inside and put a wooden paper clip on it, and then close the box. So like when I go to get cereal, you open up, reach down, there's like, what is this? Like a wooden paper clip?
It's to keep it from
clothespin.
getting stale. It's a clothespin.
I don't know. It's a little-
That's
seems
not
like
a paper clip. When it's wooden, then it's got
paper.
That's not a paper clip. That's
a closed
clothespin.
It's a closed. It's a closed.
Well, going through all that trouble assumes that you're not going to finish the box of cereal anytime soon.
In a single sitting.
You're right. You just need
because
bigger bowls.
Really, you might as well just open up the whole thing and just pour cereal.
Just pour milk
right?
and just pour milk in the
Sorry,
box.
pour milk right into
Shake
the
it up.
cereal box. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
and then
that's-
cut a hole out of the corner of the.
Yeah,
of the
and that's
plastic.
where you open up just a little bit so you can control how quickly it's coming.
At the bottom.
At the bottom of the bag,
cut
you're
the
opening it up
and,
just
and
a
that's
little
why
bit.
it's important to have the top all the way open, like when you funnel. You know, like when you
Right,
key a beer, you know how to you have to open the top so it comes out fast enough.
That's right.
It's the same thing, same physics apply.
So, okay, so I have to say this. So I bought Wilson his own peanut butter jar. You know, we've had this discussion.
Yep.
Well, I had my own jar. So I go in the kitchen to open my jar, and it won't freaking open. I'm laying on the floor trying to open it, and he's in there and dying laughing.
Did you glue it shut?
He freaking took something and, like, winched it down to where nobody in there. So I took a huge-ass knife and sawed the top of it
It was
off.
like my water bottle bag. You can get that thing off.
I was so mad, and he was in there just dying laughing.
I took an oil filter wrench and I tightened it up because she took a.
I wrote on his thing said it Wilson's peanut butter.
Did you really take an oil filter wrench and tighten your pizza?
Do you
button?
guys play practical
Please say
jokes on
yes.
each other regularly?
Not enough.
Nah.
Was that banana something that you really did to him?
Yeah. So Amanda knows that I get scared really easy. Did you see that, Vaughn?
I don't think I did.
Well, you know, I get freaked out easily.
Mm-hmm.
And so she, on a banana, I didn't know you could do this, but she wrote, she just scribbled.
Oh, when you write on a banana.
Yeah,
and
it shows
then
up like
she,
the next day.
She wrote, "I'm watching you." So then I see this banana, and it's really scary. The way that it bruises on a banana is really scary. But then she told me, she was like, "Did you write this?
you use it. Did you use a paper clip or a clothespin to write on the?
What did you
Banana.
use to write that?"
I used just a clicky ink pen without you clicking it open so I could write it neatly.
Well, don't do it again.
But yeah, well, he was tearing off the bananas, and I kind of wrote it on the inside of like 3 bananas in from so that he would pull each day, and then by the time he got to it, it'd be really good and dark. Well, then he pulled it off and didn't even see the one laying next to it where I'd written that on there, and I was afraid it's going to get too dark to where he couldn't see it. And I was like, "Did you see that?" And he was like, "Oh my God."
I don't pay attention to much.
No, I had the banana I was going to eat. I didn't need to see anything else. Right?
Do you brush your teeth with a electric toothbrush or manual?
A manual toothbrush. My wife uses an electric one. My son uses an electric one. I think everybody except for me uses an electric one.
Nope. I went back to manual. I was electric for years and years and years, and then mine started getting really loud, like the bearings or something were going out in it. So it was like, "Meh." So I went back to manual, and it's just so much better. Waiting to brush your teeth seems like forever.
So now it takes 30 seconds instead of 2 minutes.
My electric toothbrush, nobody should have to brush their teeth for 2 minutes. That's absurd.
Said no dentist ever.
That's right. My dentist says a lot of things. Also thinks that I should come back like every 6 months, and that I should fix my cracked tooth for $1,600. He's like, and it may break off, and it could be more. I was like, where's he gonna have to wait and see? I'm not coming off $1,600 for a tooth. Anyways,
We have insurance, baby.
it was still gonna be like $1,200. Swanson, buy me a tooth.
I just paid for my own. I just had a root canal.
He has
and,
gold teeth.
and a crown done.
He invests in teeth. So I went back to brushing my teeth with a manual brusher, and it just passes the time a lot quicker. Everybody should do that.
So
It just takes
I
too
have
much.
So I use an electric toothbrush. I have switched back to a manual toothbrush because
It's
I
better
have
exercise.
left toothbrushes like on trips and forgotten to like repack it or whatever, and so instead of just buying another one, I would manual toothbrush for a while. Anyways, go to the dentist and they're like, "Man, what's changed? Your teeth aren't as clean."
Because you were using a manual one?
Because I was using a manual one instead of an electric one.
Really?
Oh, he knew.
Huh.
Well,
knew.
Oh, they can tell.
My,
And he
my,
gets a
my,
kickback.
You
my-
think it makes that much difference, really?
my dental hygienist said she could tell
And
that I
then
had
did he
switched.
follow
So
it up
combine-
by, let me sell you this digital
Yeah.
toothbrush that
For
I have.
$700.
Well, so
they sell on
they
Amazon
always
for
kind of
$30.
got on to me about mine. He had an electric one, so I didn't want to spend like the $200 that they sell. So I got like a $35 one off Amazon. It's amazing. You just plug it in the wall and charge it like computer USB thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only had to charge the thing like 3 times. It holds a charge forever. Anyway, she noted. I didn't say a word because I was like, I'm going to see if they notice. And she's like, oh wow, your teeth are a lot cleaner. What are you doing differently? And I was like, oh, I got an electric toothbrush. It's like, okay. So they could tell.
Do you floss your teeth regularly?
Not really. Listen, guys, you know what? I spent so many years drinking sugar coffee and smoking so many cigarettes.
Yeah.
Nobody's judging
There's
you
no
right now.
hope for me.
This is a safe place,
Like,
Vaughn.
if I go to the dentist, he's probably going to be like, what in the hell is wrong with you?
If I go to the dentist. Do you floss?
Fine.
You floss your teeth, I bet, twice a day.
I floss once a day for the 2 weeks leading up to my dentist appointment.
Yeah. That's how
What
you
I
do it.
And
Almost
they-
bleed
and
to
they're-
death.
And they're like, "Wow, your gums look really healthy." And I'm like, "Yeah, they do."
Yeah. I forget to do it that far in advance. So I do it like, the day before. And then I go in there, my gums are all swollen. I look like I'm, like, geez, we know what you did. I'm not flossing my teeth. I'm not doing that. I just refuse. I've got a water pick thing that I use it sometimes. But a lot of that's just too much maintenance.
How did we get here?
I don't know. He's going to ask you if you shower next. Do you
I
shower?
just write down stuff. I just
How
jot
often
down.
do you- how
This is
often
in my
do you shower?
notes. Just throughout the week when I think of something, I just put it in my
Do you
notes.
use soap?
What does that smell?
Do you use body wash?
I use a bar of soap. Yeah, what do y'all use? Body wash?
I use body wash.
I
Do you use like a little fluffy
Do you
sponge?
use
with it?
Axe?
Let me tell you what. We have the soap. We get the soap
On a rope.
No, they're made at the Bluff City Soap.
Oh, yeah, those things smell
Yeah.
good.
And it's like, I don't know if it's like homemade. They make it in
Yeah,
the store. And that stuff is the bomb.
Yeah, it is.
Like, Holly will go up there and just buy different. You can go in there and get a box that has various flavors in it, and you don't know what's in there, but it's cheaper than buying like the regular box. So
Yeah.
she'll buy 3 or 4 of those boxes, and they are awesome.
Yeah, my favorite flavor is narcissist.
Just finishing up Mr. International. That's a Bluff City soap.
Is that?
Oh, I don't know what the names
scent?
of the flavors are, but they're flavors. I don't
Scent.
eat them, but they smell.
Mr. International. That sounds like a very Swanson-esque scent. The Swanson.
Goes with my fancy
They should
earbuds.
come out with that.
I think my favorite one
The
was
Swanson.
one she got. me
City
that was,
Swanson.
that was black. I don't know what it was called.
Oh, that's
It
the
was
one
like
that you
The
use.
charcoal or something.
charcoal or something. Yeah, that was my favorite.
They
one
got
so
one
far.
that's black that is for guys for hair and body, all in one.
Oh.
So you can just.
Which really all soap is for hair and body.
Yeah,
no,
right.
it's not.
If you use it
No.
right. It can be.
Oh my gosh. What's next?
I signed up for a Big Buffalo 50K.
Why?
Okay, what is that? So you can do
'Cause-
half of it? That's loops, just so we're clear.
Yeah, 6 loops.
Yeah,
So you could do half of it?
I don't know how much I'm going to do.
I signed up
When
for the
is it?
relay.
I don't know.
March 27th.
Oh, that's
Oh,
late.
I'm out of town that weekend.
Late this year.
Guessing.
Isn't it usually earlier?
I don't know that I'm going to run a 50K, but I did want to participate. I want to be out there. Seemed like a lot of people were going to be out there. Gary Owen's going to be out there, so I got to be out there.
It seems like that race is always on a weekend. I'm doing something else for some
It's
reason.
always on Fall Creek Fall race weekend, but we're not going to Fall Creek Falls this year. March 21st. My bad.
I'm interested to see how I feel after running Sylamore. And because I felt so good at Sylamore, I will make it a point not to run between now and then because I want it to be a surprise. The anticipation that maybe it'll feel good next time.
Do you think there was anything to you feeling good?
Nah. Just felt good.
Just felt good.
It's funny to me. I'm curious, like with Amanda going gluten-free, like if her training hadn't changed at all and all she did would go gluten-free, how much different the race would have been for her, kind of thing. I don't know. That kind of stuff just interests me. Like,
Well, I mean, I think this is pretty positive. I think that all signs point to it being the gluten.
If you could stop training altogether and go gluten free, and you'd be the best runner in the world.
I wasn't trying to imply that.
I bet if I was to stop doing fitness anything at all and eat like a decent human being, then I would benefit so much more than the path that I've been on in fitness up to
Instead
that.
of trying to out-eat your fitness.
Yeah. And doing
That's
it.
what I'm doing right now. I am out-eating my fitness.
Yeah. Which is not hard to do.
It's not hard to do at all.
I follow James Fitzgerald
Okay.
on Facebook, and he puts some coaching tips out there every now and again. And one of them that he says more than once is, "Don't work out to lose weight, and don't tell people to work out to lose weight." Right. And so if you, I am implying that you got to fix your nutrition is the most important thing probably.
That's what CrossFit put at the bottom of
Nutrition,
the pyramid.
nutrition, and sleep is probably more important than training. And if those two things aren't working at all, then the other one probably doesn't matter at all, right?
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
Makes sense.
I think about it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, here I got some facts here.
A review?
This. No, we don't have any of those.
Oh man,
Get somebody from your party to write a
there's
review.
nobody. They're just joining.
Is there
People
one?
just Christopher Hope is there. Look at it. Look.
Chris Hope left us a review.
Yeah, he's
Did
already
he?
left us one. Yeah, he left us
Yeah.
one.
I'm gonna like it.
The review?
No, Chris Hope. He says he's gonna get back into the game for real.
Okay, the guy Ilioid Kipchoge or whatever, the guy that ran the marathon really fast.
Sub 2.
Huh?
Sub 2 marathoner?
Yeah.
What's his nickname?
Ilioid.
Doesn't he have a nickname?
Probably
The
Kip.
fast guy.
Illy.
All right, what do you think his mile time is?
4:14.
4:12.
Well, I feel like it's sub 4.
You're going to have to give a number.
We'll say it.
353.
We have a winner. 350.
Well, that's not a
0.4.
winner. He was wrong.
Well, but he's
This is Price
closer.
is Right. I was closest.
No,
But you did go over.
You did go over. So.
nobody wins.
It also has a 3,000, but what is that? That doesn't really.
Yeah, because the
nobody cares
4-minute
about
mile was like the mythical thing,
I don't know.
and people run sub 4. Yes, so if he ran sub 2, then
For a whole marathon.
that. Okay. What do you think his 5K time is?
14:24.
12:30.
13:33. 13.
You do win.
10.
Like, you come on down.
What is the thing you do at Price is Right? You just overbid because you know everyone else is
$1.
on, and then you win.
Yeah, underbid.
1 minute.
There's a documentary on a guy that mastered the Price is Right stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
I feel like we've talked about that before.
Unreal,
Maybe not
have
on
we?
here.
We've talked about everything.
All right, so his 5K is 12 minutes 46 seconds.
Wow.
Isn't
That's
that crazy?
crazy.
His half is 59:25, and his full is 159:40.
That is
59:25. Let me do the math on that. That's
Wait a minute. Were you
35
asking? Were you just
seconds
asking
slower.
what his mile time is, or were you asking what his mile time was for his marathon?
he said personal best mile time.
No, I didn't. I said, what's his mile time?
I assumed you were asking
said
his
personal best.
I didn't say
mile.
personal best. I have not. You're going to have to go back and watch the tape.
He doesn't use that phrase.
I'm holding you to the fire on this one. As many times as you corrected me over minor stuff, I did not say
wonder
personal
what-
best. I don't even use that word.
Okay.
2 words.
So
Those
159.
words.
If his marathon is 159, what's the pace for a marathon at 1 hour 59?
I don't know. I need
Fast.
a
Real
calculator
fast. But you know
and
what?
internet.
What was this marathon time? 159 what?
159:40.
So his half marathon time was like 35 seconds off of
Like an hour.
1 hour. And so what's that work out to? That's 70 seconds for the marathon. So that would have been 1:58:50. So he was only like 40 seconds slower. Only 40 seconds slower over twice the distance. Does that make sense? I'm probably not saying that the right way, but 40 seconds divided by 2, so 20 seconds on his half marathon time. So anyways,
said, like, what?
anyways,
I don't know. I can't math,
I
so
think
whatever
we're out
you
of
say.
time.
We are out of time.
I'll shut up.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 179 is in the
In the
books.
I was going to say that.
Do it now.